Welcome to the Social Regressive. We're out here at Tulsa's Red Castle Gun Club on a really, really hot day, and we have a handful of rifles out here that we've been shooting, and we also just happen to have a bunch of different bipod heights, basically a representative of everything that you could be looking for, from very low profile out to seated bipod. This is one that you actually shoot while sitting down. It's that tall. And this is a topic that I wanted to get into since we had all this stuff here today. We'll talk about it right now with Jesse, friend of the channel, and he's done some shooting for us. He's gotten to shoot the GRS rifle and a couple others, and he's gotten to shoot some eggs.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was.
So I get this question, or at least I see this question a bunch, of what bipod height to choose. And, in general, the advice is just going to be get the lowest bipod that you can. And it's going to be true that, yes, a low bipod is going to get you a really stable platform. Like F-class rifles, they have a really wide, really low type of bipod. But that's not necessarily what you want for every kind of rifle and for every situation. First off, low and wide is going to get you the best stability that you can. That's when you are laying flat on the ground. Everything is just making, lots of points of contact. So yeah, you're going to be really stable, you're going to be accurate. But sometimes it's just not practical. So a bipod like this low profile that we have on the GRS, this one just barely works for this rifle. It has, this rifle has an extended magazine, but even collapsed, there's enough room. And, basically, take a look at your rifle. How tall is the magazine? If you have an AR, you're definitely going to need a taller bipod than something like this. That won't work at all. If you have some kind of extended magazine, if you have a really tall drop at the toe or something, then that's just going to need a bigger bipod overall. But once you get past that, a lot of it's environmental. So we turn to Jesse, our roving hunter, and he can kind of explain some of the things that he comes into when he's out hunting and why he chooses a different bipod height.
Yeah, right, Kyle. I notice the mid-level or the medium and the medium tall are very good for if you're just wanting to get a bipod that you really think is in a mid-level range for what you're going to be using hunting or land hunting or out here on the berm. To select the taller one though, when you're hunting mountainous terrain or where you're going to be sitting in a hill or a mountain or on a rock, I usually go with my extra tall one. It is, Kyle, it's hard to choose, you have to, your application is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like I say, F-class out here on the GRS, this one will extend. Notice it's really low, but the arms will extend on it, so where you could get a good height for a level shot at a range situation, as so the medium on the Harris. But your application, it's gonna differ. Mm-hmm. So in all of a sense, I have all three sizes: this one, mm-hmm. this one, and that one. But I hunt a lot and I shoot a lot. But all for all, it's just the terrain you're going to be in and what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, and tell me, when you take out the really tall bipod, the seated one, mm-hmm. What kind of terrain are you dealing with?
Rolling hills, mountainous with valleys, where I can set in a hill and you can extend it to all kinds of heights. You can be seated on a hill, or you can set down lower in a hill and extend your arms mm-hmm. for the length that'll get you level.
And when it comes to, the unevenness of the terrain, this is one of the things that when I go out prairie dog hunting, that's one of the reasons why I have, a bipod that has plenty of extension. You never know where you're going to have to plop down your rifle. Sometimes the only shot that you can take, you just get this window between a couple of rocks or something, and you might have to prop one leg up on top of a rock and the other one down on the ground. There's going to be, a certain amount of mismatch. If you're on a berm like this, or if you're, at some kind of range, of course, this is, pretty docile. You can get away with stuff like this that doesn't have all that much extension. But yeah, if you're out there, you might need to really deal with some uneven terrain. And then of course there are going to be obstacles to get over, like tall grass out on the prairie where I do a lot of shooting. And I'm sure out where you are, there's going to be stuff you just plain want to get over.
Sure. Rolling tumbleweeds, yeah. And it's coming at you too. But yeah, your terrain, Kyle, is you're really going to have to look at your terrain. And more than not, when I'm out in the plains, mm-hmm. Where it's rolling hills, I reach for the extra long one, mm-hmm. just for anybody going out there soon or going to that terrain. And it is heavier. It is going to be heavier.
Yeah.
And it's significant heavier. It is.
Yeah. And
but,
if you have to take a standing shot, it's going to be really awkward.
Yeah, it's crazy. But when you need it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And if you need to get low, just remember, guys, you can fold your arms and just get down on the ground with it. It depends on what kind of shot you need. Or grab your pack or your hat or anything, fold it up if you need to get really low. These are just kind of some of the things I've done.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were talking about how you always want a bipod that swivels.
Oh, yeah.
So like this right here, you can adjust the cant, because sometimes you can get those legs perfect on the ground. Sometimes you can't. You can't. And
good point, because that's right. Definitely, I would get one that swivels.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I would make that, whichever one you choose, whichever brand. For hunting and casual shooting, I would go with any brand here, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I don't have any quirks really about any of them.
Yeah.
But definitely, they need to swivel.
Yeah. Yeah, and both these two on the ends are Blackhawk. This one's Harris. This one's Caldwell. They've all worked out in the field for us.
Sure.
You know, doing all kinds of stuff. They're all going to get the job done. Some are going to be tougher, of course, so that's where you get into the name brand thing. You know, how tough do you want this thing to be? But really, when it comes to functionality, you know, a lot of these less expensive models like these two you can get at Walmart. You know, Harris are ubiquitous. Caldwell, you can get these inexpensively on Amazon. And, you know, we've put them to the test and they work.
Sure, they do. And the Blackhawk, they are, I'm saying that brand, Kyle, it works for anything that I need to do, really. You know, like you say, your professional grades, whatever you're doing, you know, if you were a professional in the military doing your job, you would want, what's the top end brand? There's one, yeah, it's, you know, you want to get those ones that are just very solid and very built to the max with aluminum materials and stainless materials in them.
Right. Yeah, for most of us though, you know, we don't need anything that you can stand on or anything like that. We were kind of making fun of that earlier. There are all kinds of, you know, folks that might want to illustrate, okay, you know, we're standing on top of a bipod and it works. But, you know, really, we're just out shooting these guns. We're not doing anything really crazy with them.
Yeah.
And I think that really the final takeaway is, you know, just first, make sure that it's tall enough for your individual rifle, that you're going to have clearance with some of your weird stocks, like this one right here. This has a lot of drop here, kind of on the heel of the hand, the grip. It's going to have a big drop at the toe. So that's one reason to get a taller bipod for something like this. If you have a tactical style stock, you probably need a lot of bipod. And then just after that, take a look at your environment. How rough and rugged is it? Is there anything you have to get over, like grass or whatever? And I think you can kind of come up with an answer from that. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Even if you didn't like this particular content, go ahead and subscribe. There's probably something coming that's more up your alley. Check out this playlist right here. This is going to have videos in a similar vein to what you just watched. These two videos we cherry-picked for you. And finally, The Social Regressive is on Patreon. So, you can become a patron of the destructive arts and earn some goodies while helping us to provide high-quality videos just by kicking us a few bucks a month. Thanks a bunch for your patronage.